Hello and welcome to Smithy's Dwarven City adventure map. Hopefully, it's in building. These two guys are supposed to be dwarves holding warhammers. Hopefully, you can tell that. We're going to have a kind of a look around. Just this, I've been working on this for a while, just since before Christmas, all snowy and stuff. Uh, we've got a few places here of interest. Number one, I like to call it the Great Forge, place where all dwarven great items are forged. For example, this diamond warhammer. It's got lava and basalt brick themed, and there's a reason for that there that I'll explain later. The iron bars and things like that as well. Some steps because there are no basalt steps. The Great Forge actually, where the fires of lava are so hot that they forge them, and two anvils on top of gold blocks. Dwarves love gold blocks. Here's exactly where I could make names for things as well, like change the name of diamond Warhammer to, say, Dwarven Warhammer. Dwarven Warhammer. A Dwarven Warhammer. There you go, you got a Dwarven Warhammer. Sort of. Dwarven Warhammer, you see what I mean? So, that there's something, kind of things we can do. It's kind of got the hammer theme engraved everywhere, like there, for example, the roof. The lava with the gold block inside, and it's all connected with lava and volcano, the heat of the volcano and all, which is a volcano over there, which I've expanded on myself. Can't see at the moment, but this is the first piece of area. This is the Great Forge, which I like a lot. It's got these kind of steps going up with these lava and glassed, encased in glass. Steps going up here that comes up finally to the top, and has these two people looking over, and it's embedded into a hill. And then there's the Dwarven High Pass, because I wanted a large area the Dwarven city could be around, but I didn't want to have to fill up the entire area with all these buildings that had no real purpose. So I wanted to make it so that like the dwarves like lived higher than the ground. They built around the ground. They built into things. You know, they didn't have to live on the surface in huts and things like that. That's not their way of doing things. Here's the harbour area, which is a piece of shit. I will completely admit, because I don't get for harbour areas for them. And like dwarves and harbours, they just don't go. They just don't mix. It seemed like I needed something down here. Spruce ale is the main export, which is these little tubs of things. I suppose they could be. And there's a wee crane there, and everything's a pig on some ice. Lovely. The paths are made of stone. The basalt and brick theme and lava themes throughout, because this dwarven city, this specific dwarven city, because I have a different one that I'm building as well, is all based around this this volcano here that they have near them, that they use the thing. This is my, as soon as this world chunk loads, which is quite terrible. Come on, load, you son of a bitch. That's more like it. So we've got this chasm here, or chasm, or sorry, and they've cut out this here area here, which used to be all basalt, and this is hollow for some reason. Okay, there we go. And these are the different companies. I mean, I need ideas for the industrial area, for buildings to fill up, but this is the Basalt Mountain Miners Co. You got the basalt brick smelters that they use. The volcano comes down from it to smelt it into brick. We've got sawmills there, and just an anvil and furnace and blacksmith shop here. Pretty pitiful, I suppose, I know, but I need some ideas for that there, so that'd be great if any ideas could come in. There's a lot of land here still not used, but that I've got a lot of ideas for, like, because the waypoints aren't on at the moment, but we'll go up to the north next. So this here Dwarven High Pass, I suppose I can call it, has basalt columns with lava on top for lighting. It's completely covered in snow. There is a part the rivers aren't biomed as snow, so that rains at some parts, but just filled up with snow. Then to the left, uncompleted wall. It's very blank at the moment. That's not what it's going to look like in the end. It's going to have a lot more detail into it, like the iron grains and stuff. And this is one of the towers, engraved into a hill as well. If you walk in, you've got these stairs, so on. You come up, and then there's glass archways. You can look out at everything and protect. Keep a good watchful eye on everything. And then there's the final top, which is just a flat top basalt with some small detailed crenellations, which is good for looking out above everything. Okay, so that's the first tower. We're going to move on to the next one now, which is I kind of dabbled in some kind of designs, kind of the idea that, you know, these places were set up individually, not laid out like a city, because a city sprawls. This here was set up as just, they've got the steps up, and then there is a gap which is filled up with a large pillar. That's what the high passes are supported on, which comes over here. And then there's this here double tower kind of thing going on that is connected. It has two entrances without doors yet. They're completely glassed, so you can see from every point out to the rest of the world. One single column of stairs, so on. And then whenever it gets high enough, they connect together. And this was just to kind of get some design ideas, to not everything look the same. It didn't make sense that everything should look the same for the dwarves to build above ground. That I don't know, they just seemed. And this here is it hasn't got the wall yet, but this here building over here is the kind of masterpiece at the front, which is kind of it looks so striking because it's kind of the bold saying for you are entering dwarven territory. This is what people from the north see, and this is a really large snow biome. You see, it may not. I've kind of built it on the border here of another one, but it goes down for ages and ages. But it is a very large snow border, so it is a very large snow biome. So I wanted this here to be kind of the frontal image that people get when they know that they're entering dwarven territory. Large top-on piece crenellations like the rest, with these windowed towers kind of poking out, and it's almost like a giant column that's thinning, buried deep into the ground. And it's a very striking piece of architecture to look at and see. And there's a lot of metal. The metalwork as well, I think, helps a lot. And it'll be the main watchtower to the north, where possibly dwarven enemies or dwarven allies. I don't know yet. A lot of monsters, not a lot of lightning. Glassed little outlooks here on all these pieces. Jesus, a lot of monsters here. I've built this here in Technic, but it's the latest Minecraft, so it can have command blocks. So I'm going to make it into a adventure map, and it may be a bit, it may be limited possibly to feckin' Endermen. It may be limited to single player at the moment, but hopefully soon there'll be. Oh, they're stealing my blocks and they're leaving blocks behind, which is just shit. Down here as well, keeps coming down, goes very low into the ground. And that's the bottom layer, which just kind of looks out at the tree line, the canopy top. So that there's the most northerly tower. And I plan. Oh, for God's sake! Why does that keep happening? It's like it's pushed me away. So that there, I like this here building a lot anyway, and it's gonna have the wall spread out there as well, and it's gonna be a masterpiece. The front of the ship, almost the front of the city. Different designs, smaller tower. This tower I didn't show was encased into the ground, like that they're built into hills. This here one is literally built on top of the hill. It spreads down into the hill and has outlooks, and it also has a secret entrance as well that is possibly could be used for somewhere else. It's not going to be used for here, but it has a secret entrance here. Here's just a plain wall, and the redstone torch is the key. And as in most kind of idyllic dwarven stories, their walls are nearly invisible, and they're so invisible that I can't even remember where the hell they are. Much like the dwarves. Getting close though, I think. I can feel it. Okay, we got it, yeah. Here we are. Pretty much completely invisible, and it's with walled up, it would be, it wouldn't show anything, so it would be good. It's going to be good as an entrance. It's not going to be used here, but it'll be used somewhere, and I just wanted to show you that there. That leads then to the stairs of the tower. But possibly that could be like this could go further on, but this will be, and just show it works. See, completely visible. It also blocks out all the lights, so you can't really tell. And the snow comes back. The snow snows. There's nothing to block it, so I mean, there's nothing to really tell you. And because you've taken so many guesses as well, it'll be hard. But yeah, I just wanted to show that there as well. And now we'll go down. It's kind of where my ideas are taking me. So we've got the towers to the front. We're working the walls a lot. Got the Great Forge, which I like to call it, made, which is kind of a centerpiece of the city. Down here as well, I've got the all waypointed. There is the industrial area, which needs to be built up a lot, I know, and I just need ideas, and I would love to get some ideas. Then across there, you've got completely unbuilt region yet, untouched, but with there's great ideas for it. We're gonna have a temple here at this here point. I'm just gonna see if I can put on the waypoints, 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 waypoints. For some reason, there's no waypoints. I don't know why. This is going to be a temple area, and I was thinking kind of columns, large columns coming up, and kind of in, I don't know, kind of an almost Greek fashion, but I want to get some of that mythology of the Vikings and things like that there into it as well. So I'll look up some ideas about that. But this is where it's going to be, and this will kind of be the ideal centerpiece, the kind of place of worship. There will also be a large hall because dwarves like to drink, maybe multiple halls. There is also a large natural chasm here, or chasm, if you're a Yogscast fan, which I am. And this is going to be the Great Mine. It's going to have large columns like this here. It'll be kind of this here kind of fashion of a big slit, and then it'll go down, and the slit will change direction, so it might be going out this way a bit, and the next might be going down that way as we go down further and further each layer. It'll be about this as long as this here. It'll go down in another direction. It'll kind of narrow out, and there'll be large columns and things like that, and bridges, and a central column going down. Maybe three central columns actually, one here, one there, and one there, and that'll be the Great Mine. And it'll be filled with gold, precious gems, and all other kind of materials that the dwarves would like to collect. Finally, down here to this here beautiful piece of scenery which just stuck out in my mind when I saw it. This is going to be the Dwarven Palace, the place of the royal Dwarven family, where they dwell, where they make their matters. It'll spread out in front a bit. It is very far back, I know, and there's going to be, but that's because look how big this here snow biome was. It keeps going. It just keeps going. This is going to be the palace. There's going to be two great towers, much like the ones at the front, possibly a bit taller and wider. One over on this side and on that, and then one on the other side of the palace. And the real problem is kind of just filling in the area in between. So if anybody's got ideas, if anybody likes this here, for starters, you can like and everything, and you can give me some ideas, and I'll be making some more videos about the building of this here and the progress. Any ideas, very, very welcome. Plan, especially for the industrial area, to build it up, and maybe to just kind of what I could fill up in between the large spaces. I know it's kind of bold making the spaces so large, but it just seemed so perfect. It seemed to work. It seems in my mind that it's going to work so well. So thanks for watching, and any ideas, any suggestions, very, very, very welcome. Leave a comment or whatever. Thanks very much. Press the wrong button. Embarrassing.